Ooh, okay. I think everything is working now. Let me see here. What even is this? Okay. Oh, wait, no. All right. All right, what's good, y'all? Yami, Kino. Yes, Joshua, this is definitely real. It's 100% real. It's 200% real. That is for sure. All right, bam. Man, it has been a minute. Like, it has been a minute. Juice, juice, what's going on? Yeah, I say I don't even know when the last like video, let alone stream was. Like I don't even want to think about it. It was funny. The only reason I'm late is because like Google was not even trying to let me get on here. Like my little two steps uh security was going overtime. Like I was not getting no confirmation to get it into my account. It's kind of weird. What I've been up to, it's been like a lot, but not a lot at the same time. It's been like a perfect storm of a lot of stuff. I could probably make a video separately about that cause I feel like a lot of people will probably ask me in and out like throughout the live stream. But the main thing was like, so I work for like my family has this company, so like I've been having to do a lot more work for them than normal, and it kind of threw my schedule off like on how I liked it to do things. Like just everything kind of got out of whack for the way I like to like do my content. So with that, trying to like I guess get back to where I was, and then just once you get into a string of not making content, it's kind of just like you just it's hard to get back into it, at least for me. So hopefully this will be like more of a step in like the right direction. What's up with you guys though? Like, like everybody here has definitely commented asking me where I was. How have you guys been? There's like so many chapters, so much story content to talk about. There's so much story content to talk about. Are you good, JK? That's good. Eden Zero has been going like pretty smooth. I will say there's some parts of it that are kind of weird with this whole like I like to think of it as like a new game plus run in the next universe. I'm actually kind of like excited to see. I can't remember if the last thing was like Valkyrie becoming like a main, like a member now, like her actually being alive. I kind of do enjoy that, and Hamora's mom actually being good in this version. I kind of enjoy that we got to see like both sides of it. I still do catch a lot of your tweets talking about it. So Eden Zero, I'm actually enjoying it a decent bit right now. Black Clover is it's Black Clover like that. There's like stuff I could really get into, but I'd be trying not to nitpick it. But Black Clover is going all right. This is going all right right now at this moment. It's going all right. I'm excited for what could happen next. Like there's a lot of potential for what's going on. I do think that definitely got like this crazy broken ability like off nothing. Like he got like this crazy ability off nothing. But 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 'Cause I think like the thing that really killed me about for real, is that like Tabata had his whole like arm wrapped up, like it was bandaged up, and we knew it was gonna be something, but then he just uses it. Like we didn't get like no build up to it. Like he kind of just did it, so it was just like he just did this whole like Neverland spell with no like I don't know. I feel like if this was older Tabata, right? Like once would have done the spell, we would have maybe got like a flashback of his training or him talking about it or just like some more context on it. I guess we do still have time. Obviously, we still got time for Tabata to add context to it, but it's just weird that there's none right now. It's just like, oh yeah, here's my bandages are falling off. Here's Neverland. And it's like it doesn't hit as hard if we don't have the context for it. Like bandages falling off isn't really that hype to me without the context. So, um, said you're curious to what my thoughts are on Draken becoming an anti-hero because that's a controversial one since he was a great pure evil villain, but in Universe Zero he's morally gray. Um, it's weird because I'm one of those people that actually kind of more liked him in the original universe. Well, I guess in the storyverse that in that first run of Eden Zero, he was more of an actual villain. He's one of the ones that I didn't really like the change on personally. Because I mean, Draken, he was just a dope character the way he was. I mean, he's still cool now, but like, I I definitely prefer the original run of him more. I think Yuno's Neverland is based on Belle, who's a Peter Pan reference in Neverland. No one ages, so it makes sense that time doesn't flow. Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. I just think it's really like out of nowhere, like, it, and not like out of nowhere. I say like he can't have an ability that counters it. Because I think it's a very creative way to do it, and I think it was like I think it's a very creative solution to the problem as to how does he fight against Lucius. It's a very creative solution, but it's like we didn't get any. It's like bam, he just has it. You know what I mean? Like he just has it. It would be like what would be a good example? Take I hate to use Naruto for an example. It was the first one that came to mind. Like taking Naruto, if like if like the first time we see Sasuke after a really long time, like say like the first time we seen him after time skip, he already has like Tsukiyomi, and there's no like reason or explanation, or he already has a Madara. Like he just already has this like super cool ability, and there's no like story on why it is. It just is. I mean, we already knew like he could get some crazy ability, but they don't really explain it. He just has it. It's kind of like that for me. It's like, man, I kind of wish we had a build up for it. I think the reference is cool. I mean, Tabata's been referencing like a lot of the fairy tale stuff in his like stories for a minute now, like Gray and Cinderella, or like Gauche and the mirror on the wall thing and all that. I mean, so he had Charmy and Little Red Riding Hood. Like he has these like storybook references, so it's kind of cool to see another one. But I guess that's like all my thing. What do you think about Shuri becoming Shiki's friend? He was one of your favorite villains in Eden Zero because he was just a savage, but now he'll either be an anti-hero or still evil, but team up with Shiki. Now, for me, and Shura, he definitely was my favorite villain in Eden Zero, still is. I really hope, as long as they don't become friends, that's my main thing. Like, if they team up but they absolutely hate each other, like if they team up because they absolutely have to and they hate each other for it, I will still be okay. That's still salvageable a little bit. I don't want them to team up and get close or team up and kind of become friends. Is they the only thing that would be okay is if they team up and they still absolutely hate each other. Like that is it. Because like I feel like Shiki's line of like I don't think I can become friends with you like when against Shura was so big for Shiki, and like his character development from wanting to be friends with everybody to finally realizing that there's some people you just can't be friends with. I feel like it should still stand here. So as long as they still absolutely hate each other's guts, I'll be okay with it. Probably Tabata just wants to show context for Asta, but it would be it would have been cool to see it with Like I don't know why. I mean, I do know why because he doesn't. It's like the second half. It's like Tabata's writing Black Clover a lot differently than what he was. So I mean, I get it. I, I'm not a fan of that exact style, especially like if it would have always been like this, I would be okay with it. But it's like you can't get me used to one thing one way, and then switch it to another way, and then it's like, ugh, it kills me. It kills me because it used to be hype. Not saying it's not hype because it still is to like see where everything goes, but man, I really do miss that. What was my reaction to moving the time sphere in the time sphere? So the thing with that is like I was wondering for the longest time how he was gonna do this, because like with Asta it was obvious anti magic, so of course he could get to a point to where time doesn't affect him or something. But with I really did not know how they were gonna do it, and to be honest, I like this way a lot more than the other ways that people were talking about, because like I would see people saying like, "Oh, time reacts differently with stars, and he could go that way of like time doesn't affect stars like that well, so could make a star a barrier or something." It was just like I just hated all of those. Like they just felt like they were doing entirely too much, like just doing way too much. So like it was really hyped to see that Neverland is this combination spell with his own magics, which is something that was definitely going to be hyped. But it was a solution, it was a combination spell, and it made sense to an extent. It doesn't make like 100% sense, but it makes sense to an extent. So I was actually hyped for it. I was actually hyped for it. I mean, I'm a big fan. So if does anything cool, I'm pretty much always going to be hyped for it. He said sounds like some juju. Bro, that's how people be though. That's really how people be. They be like they keep trying to make all these super complicated explanations for stuff and it's like, yo, no, no. I gotta know, do you guys think that like the paladins or not the paladins, do you guys think that the reusing are stronger than the Black Clover captains? I'm just very curious. You see, your biggest issue with is that he barely had any real dynamics in the series other than with Asta, and I guess William. He doesn't seem to talk to Mimosa or his own squad mates. She's more close to Asta. I mean, that is true. I think like the biggest thing with is not that he didn't have it because he did. Like the whole Golden Dawn, like getting closer to him is a big deal. It sucks because they really showed it off in the anime a lot more, but even still in the anime, it really wasn't a lot because he had like what I want to say 4 or 5 episodes of him getting closer to the Golden Dawn, and like 2 recap episodes where like him, Mos, and Klaus are writing like reports, and he gets close to them. Like, cause there was like that big mission towards the end where all the Golden Dawn went to that one place. There's the stuff with Langris that was done in the anime that kind of showed a little bit of closeness. Um, I want to say there's that one mission with Klaus Mimosa, and when they went with Salim in the beginning, like so there's like a couple here and there, but it's about I really wanted to like give like his own story beats and his own like arc. Like if we could have ever gotten an arc that wasn't entirely focused on Asta, it would have did so well for the series, honestly. Like, cause it would have been pure upside. It's pure upside if you know what it just got. I'm not even saying it has to be Naruto esque or Naruto Shippuden esque, where like Sasuke has multiple just mini arcs on his own. It's like could have just got a little bit more and it would have been great because he does have it. It just was never shown, not nearly to the extent of that it should have been. So how I feel about the death in 4 Nights of Apocalypse, bro. The Jade death was weird. It was weird to me. Like it was crazy because I didn't see it coming. Because especially like it's one of those things where like a death this early in their journey was so out of left field, and to like some fodder type dudes too. Like the chick is pretty fodder, and the dude is pretty fodder. Like in the grand scheme of things, they're pretty fodder. So it was just weird. It was so weird. I guess like the thing that kills me because I was just talking about this, I was on the stream with RT and we were talking about it. Is it was surprising to me how much weaker Jade was than Ysolda and Cheon. Like, cause Cheon, like we seen it, he just one shot that guy, like no problem. It was just like massive fire attack, just did it, wasn't any build. He just one shot him. Ysolda, she was nerfed, so she was poisoned, so she couldn't really fight to her fullest extent. So she really couldn't do much. But even like hurt her bombs, like whatever the love bomb time explosion, still blew off his arm. But like Jade really couldn't do nothing. And I get it, his magic isn't really suited for it. He kind of fools people's senses. I'm guessing the guy was blind, so it didn't really work on him. But he just gets impaled so easy. He just died so easy. It was just weird. It just caught me off guard. It really caught me off guard. Ryuzen would get clapped by Mario and let my point. That's what I think too. I don't think all at the same time. I think that's definitely a bit of gas. But I think in the ones, I got the I got I the, like that upper half of the captains I have over the Ryuzen. To me, that's just me. I know there's a lot of like like Black Clover power scaling that can get them over. And like you guys know me, I'm not a power scaler. I'm not a power scaler. I might dabble in power scaling, but I'm not a power scaler. But I feel like these ways of going about it is just a little disingenuous, to be honest. I doubt they're using are stronger than the captains. My reasoning is Yami. Yami has been compared to his sister in the flashback. Makes sense that the captains will also scale. Right. Now it's weird because you could make the argument that she could be stronger than him because like they kind of have similar esque abilities, but she has like more versed in ki. But I still actually think that Yami's stronger, believe it or not, because I think like being in the Clover Kingdom has made him better with like magic in general. So I think like he would be better. Again, headcanon and like personal bias, not even really, just like when I say just like a sprinkle of personal bias, maybe. I think it's funny that you asked this because you were just saying like how strong do I think Ichika is compared to Yami. I think he's stronger than her. Not like he would absolutely body her if they fought, but I think like if they were to fight the same opponents, I think he would perform better more of the time to me. Um, but that's just me. Uh, say you're not a power scaler, but you getting power scaling to Rex. Joe's case so many times in the streams. I know, cause I'm not. I don't. It's weird because I don't really like power scaling. I don't, cause it's so like you have to ignore a lot of things sometimes just to kind of push your agenda, and it gets weird. It gets weird really fast. That's the only thing. Like it starts so grounded, and then it's like two sentences later, you're talking about like Lucy can tank like 500 billion degrees, like Lucy could survive the sun exploding on it. It gets so weird so fast. It's like you'll really set out to talk about, oh, who would win in a fight, versus freaking, I don't know, Bond. And then the next thing you know, you're asking yourself, like, oh, could like stop a country level explode? It just gets weird so fast. It gets weird so fast. Isn't it weird that Lancelot and Gawain and even Tristan to some extent were sidelined in the fight? I think it's necessary because I remember Nakaba mentioned it before that he didn't want Lancelot and Tristan to be the main characters of the story because they're too strong. And I think for a lot of the knights, the Chaos Knights that Arthur could send, he can't because it's like Lancelot was literally trading blows with Arthur. So it's like, who realistically can Arthur send that is almost as strong as he is to stop Lancelot? So it's like you have to silence Lancelot for basically every fight. You really have to. You straight up have to. He cannot be in any of these Chaos Knights fights because nobody on Arthur's side should be close to Arthur's power. So it's like you can't really use him. The stuff with Tristan and those demons, I'm very interested to know like what they were exactly talking about. Like that could be a very interesting plot line with like Arthur is like stealing demons from, the like demon realm. That could get really interesting. Like it could get, man, that could get really exciting. And then Gawain, I get it. She kind of just does whatever she wants to do. So I mean, it made sense to me. Bro, you missed it. I was just talking about, I was just talking about how like it kind of didn't make sense. I mean, Tabata does just give stuff, but it sucks because if he gave more development, stuff would make more sense. It really would. He said the weirdest part is power scaling across various manga. See, I think it's okay to an extent. The only time it gets really really weird is when we talk about like, how every verse has their own like power system or energy or unique abilities, quirks, whatever. It gets weird when people like try to talk about how those things would interact with each other. Cause I mean we all know that these authors weren't making these stories to be fighting against each other. Like it wasn't meant to be that way. But you get like people you get like people that say like, oh, Asta's anti magic if he fought against Deku would turn off his quirk, and it's like, well, no, I think Asta would beat Deku, but I don't think it turns off his quirk. That doesn't make any sense. Like you get those arguments, like, oh, if Asta fought Luffy, it turn off his Devil Fruit. Like, why? Like, oh, anti magic would work like Sea Prism Stone. Like, what? You get those arguments so much, and it makes it really difficult. Because you could actually agree with somebody, and that's the thing with power scaling. You could agree with somebody, but the way that they see the fight going can be completely different. Like me and you could both think that Luffy claps Asta, but the way we think it happens could be totally different, and that's where the arguments start. Like, and that's where the arguments start. Or like one small feat being like translated differently it can go so far. He said, "Don't let RTL defend the BS." I mean, it's just Tabata gassing Like he loves to gas without giving him any reason. Just be getting power ups. Do I think this is the real final battle, or do I think Lucy's gonna win and some other stuff happens? You know, this can't. If this was the final battle, I'd be shocked because that means Black Clover is gonna end like this year. It's either gonna end this year or in January if this is the final battle. No, I think. See, it's weird because the fan in me wants to say that something else is going to happen after this. But if we look at Tabata's history, Lucius is going to pop up and he could lose right here. And then we might get something after that. So it's weird. It's like Tabata could really make this end right here if he really wanted to. And it would be typical Tabata fashion. But I'm going to hold out hope and I'm going to say we're going to get something else. Whether he wins or loses, I'm not for sure. Because I could see it either way. Oh, Gene, what's going on, bro? It has been a minute. Oh, you're at church right now, Gene. If you at church, you did not have to turn this on. I appreciate the support, I really do. But you didn't have to turn this on. But I do appreciate you. I've been cool. I was telling everybody what was going on in the beginning. I'm not gonna go through the entire spiel again, but I've just been busy with like a lot of work and stuff with like my family's company and getting my schedule back together. Really, that's what it is. And the third portion is me being really lazy. That's probably the lion's share of the truth of it. Just being really lazy. uh, I do hope to see more major stuff from Noel and the Black Bulls. They're the best part of Black Clover, given its themes. I can agree with that. I mean, also Tabata loves the Black Bulls a lot, like a lot, a lot. The only thing I'm worried about with Noelle is she no longer has Undyne, so it's like I don't know how Tabata's gonna make her like do anything. You know what I mean? Like without like some like without some massive kind of leap in logic, like because like Laura Peshka's alive, so like Undyne has to go back to the Heart Kingdom. You know what I mean? So it's like how can Noelle do anything without Undyne? Like, and there's no way she didn't get like a whole spirit dive amp superpower and like I mean she could have, but that would just be if she got that much stronger in like what was it the year and some change, she would be most improved easily. If she got that much stronger, that'd be wild. Said it depends on how people do verse equalization. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Some people's idea of verse equalization is silly. It's absolutely silly. It's absolutely silly. And then speed feats in series are weird. It really does depend on that. At least Yuno has actually wait. At least Yuno has an actual reason to prepare himself first before fighting Lucius. That's true. But wasn't his hand wrapped up before the fight? I thought his hand was wrapped up like just when we randomly seen him, or maybe we didn't get to see his hand. I could be wrong, but I thought his hand was just already wrapped up. Uh, Black Clover ending December this year. If he ends it right there, I wouldn't like he could. I think it would suck though. Like not like Black Clover would suck, but like I feel like the ending couldn't be that great if he chose to end it by the end of this year or even January of next year. Like cuz there's so many things he didn't touch on. Like there's so many things. Like there would have to be a whole story behind why he would choose to end it that way. Cause like we still haven't like done anything with dwarves. There's still so much missing information about like the elves and like what was going on with that. Like yeah, we got to see like whatever that small village was, but like there's those like Lumiere and Tetsuya descendants that like are kind of like we seen them, but like are they the same kids? Are they descendants? Like what's going on with that? Like there's Noel's dad, like, like we seen a silhouette of him, never got to see anything. The whole Wizard King race, are they never going to appoint? Like, there's so many things. The Diamond Kingdom, where's Mars? Like, there's so many things that Tabata just would just be leaving on the table. That would just like for me, it would hurt the overall ranking of what was set up to be a really, really, really good series. It'd be crazy. Uh, I don't know why, but I can't. But I can't. I ain't care about all that. Not being explained. It was wrong. But it would be cool to see some explanation. I mean, yeah, that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. It was dope though. Him moving in Chrono Stages was hype because it's like Asta, you knew he was gonna be able to move, but you wasn't expecting that. You say yeah when he was introduced again, it was wrapped. Yeah, he so like it was like was he just randomly prepping this forever, or is that just why, or does Bell just live in his arm? It's like it was like Tabata could have gave us one flashback. You know what I mean? Like he could have gave us like a one-page flashback or something. Like I don't know. What's up, Uriah? Is this the Uriah that I'm thinking of? Like the one that I met in real life? I'm not for sure if you see if this is the if this is not the Uriah I met in real life. Don't troll me and say that it is, because I know how you guys are. I know how you guys are. Sort of power scaling, but how strong do you think Valkyrie in Universe Zero is? She never died, so she's even stronger than she was back in Universe One. Also, you think Homura surpassed her back at the Kaede? See, no, I actually don't because she was nerfed. She was actually nerfed because like she was, working in prison for so long, she wasn't at full strength. So I actually think that like her death made sense because she was not as strong as she normally would have been because she was nerfed. So at the moment of her death, do I think Hamura was stronger than Valkyrie? No, not necessarily. I think I don't know when exactly. I think probably around the time she got overdrive, maybe she was a bit stronger. But it's tough to say since we didn't get to see her full power because I'm a firm believer that she was nerfed from being in jail for so long, like and all of that. Uh, It could be that Undyne just can't break her contract with someone, and that separating from Lola was due to the demons. She could just be stuck with Noelle. See, but if she's stuck with Noelle, then I don't think Laura Petchka can do her job effectively. And the Undyne is supposed to be passed down through the Heart Kingdom, so it's like that's weird. Like this is like a country's national treasure type deal. Like this is like a country's right to pass. Like all the Heart Queens have Undyne. So it's like why would they just give it to another country? It's just weird. It would be a lot. It would be a lot. The spirit dive spell go away if the spirit's gone for cause she like who is she syncing with to get spirit dive, Like she wouldn't be able to do it. Um Lucius off screen the doors. I mean, probably like for real. Honestly, I'm okay with Asta's dad never being revealed. It's only because I'd rather Asta be 100% human. I forgot about Asta's dad. I was talking about Noelle's dad when I brought her up. But yeah, Asta's dad, that being a whole thing, it's weird. There's a lot of stuff that's on the table. And we got both of Yuno's parents, but only one of Asta's. Weird. So Gawain is just Escanor plus Merlin, who is also Arthur's niece, who taught her all those spells. Merlin had to learn them. I'm assuming Merlin probably taught her, because there's some like, there's some deep connection between Merlin and like Gawain. There definitely is. LOL, the manga reading stream. Actually, Gene, no, for real, oh wait, you said you're gonna be back at 9:30. I don't know if you can hear this or not, but there's so many new manga that I actually am just not, I'm not aware of that are going on. So that might actually be a good idea to get back into the swing of things. Because I was thinking about like changing up the way I do content. So I think that's like one of the big things for me is I think the way I was doing content was also like wearing on me. Cause I gotta switch it up. I can't keep doing the exact same thing. Like I was looking, I have like 440 something videos, and that's not even counting the live streams. And it's like, at least I think it was 400 something. I could be gassing my own numbers. How embarrassing would that be? Let me check before I just keep talking. Before I just keep talking and make myself look dumb. Let me actually make sure that that is like a correct estimate. Yeah, like there's literally 400 and something videos. Like, so it's like I need to change up the way I do things. Like, I have to switch it up. So I think I might change how I like. I don't have a solid idea, so don't ask me. Don't ask me. Don't ask me what I'm going to do. But something needs to be different. Oh, Co-Spirit, what's going on, bro? Dang, I feel like I'm getting to this so late. See, my chat reading abilities are going down, bro. Oh my gosh, such a square right now. Gino too. Oh my gosh, everybody. Oh, Gene says he's gonna be back at 9:30. I'm definitely still gonna be live by then if he pops back in. Uh, what's my current thoughts on the My Hero War? Oh my gosh. So honestly, bro, I feel like I sound like a hater. I'm really not a fan of this war in My Hero right now. I'm really not. I'm really not. I think the stuff with just Deku by itself doesn't bother me that much. I think All for One reversing his age is okay also. Um I think one of the big things that bothered me a lot is how Horikoshi is handling his side characters. Now, I understand that the side characters are not supposed to be super duper important throughout the entire series, but it's like a lot of these characters getting shine for the first time is whack. So like a character that fits in with what Horikoshi's doing is Monoma, the Phantom Thief. Him having this pivotal part with Eraserhead, and doing his thing to lock down Shiki in the beginning, that was cool because he was in Class B. That's cool. I have no problem with that. But when you have freaking Koda and Shoji and Spinner as like a focus for like 3 chapters with this mutant revolution, with this whole mutant thing, and the crazy thing is, the mutant stuff should have been its own arc. Like that is so like you could have went a whole X-Men type beat. You could have went a whole X-Men type beat with that and it would have been fire. Like having like all of the mutant corp people kind of have this weird beef with like the regular people or regular people hating on the mutant people with like Koda and Shinji at like the or Shoji at like the forefront and Deku comes and helps them and like it's a whole thing. You could have made that an arc. But Horikoshi just chose to smash it all together in 3 chapters and make it and it's on the back burner. It sucks. And then it's like the whole core singularity thing that was in the movie. That could have been an entire arc in the manga, but it wasn't. Like so Horikoshi just has some he has a couple missed opportunities to me. He really does. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Because my hero has so much potential to be fire, and it's still really not that bad. Believe it or not, with me and the stuff with Bakugo doesn't bother me that much. Now, the stuff with Edgeshot is a bit sus though. Like, Edgeshot being able to like I don't even know what would even be called. Make like an artificial organ, I guess, and then it just works. It's a lot of assuming on the reader's part, on my part. For me, it's a lot. That is a lot to just assume that he can do all of that, and it's okay. And then like the award for most unnecessary panel ever is the random part where he includes the fact that Washi Wash gave him a bubble to clean the area, and it's like who cares? No one was thinking about would this surgery be infected or anything. No one was thinking about that. No one has ever thought about the cleanliness. Like, why did we have to give Washy Wash some flowers? Like, it was just like why? I don't know. It was just why. Uh, you talk about JJK. It's funny. I am so behind on JJK. If I did a reading stream, I could do an entire stream just me catching up on JJK. I'm so many chapters behind. Like I have an idea of what's going on, so it's not like I would be completely shocked by everything, but I need to catch up on JJK. Especially because I hear it's about to end soon. Like, maybe not like this year, but probably like soon. Could have really made another good winner with Spillin if he had. Yeah, I'm saying he could have. He really could have. Like, missed the whole racist plotline. It really could have hit. As in Vengeance, bro, don't even get me started on William, bro. Like, Tabata hates William because he hasn't even given a proper fight. He really hasn't. Yeah, kind of sucks. Hori didn't really develop Class 1A and then the earlier arcs outside of the main characters. Now it feels a little too late to give them focus now. Bro, facts. I mean, because the only one who kind of gets to skate a little bit is like Tokiyami. He gets a little bit of like a skate, but it's like they gave freaking Jiro like an entire arc, and it's like, while I do enjoy Jiro, but it's like how about you give more focus to Ochiko, who's the female lead, or how about you give more focus to Momo, who's like supposed to have a lot of potential, or it was just weird. Like like how come they didn't get their own arcs where they developed their quirks and character building? Because it's just I don't know why I didn't do that. He just made some weird decisions. Kimano, what's going on, bro? I've just been really busy. It's funny because I said this at the beginning of the stream that I wasn't going to explain what happened a bunch of times, but I'm about to explain it again, and I'll probably say it again. But I've just been really busy with work for my family and stuff, and I've been trying to re get my schedule back together. Also, lazy, very lazy person. Like once I got into a string of not making content, it got really easy to stay in that. Um, yeah, because it's like my prime time to stream now isn't what it used to be. Like, because before you guys remember, I was streaming like in between like 4 and 6 o'clock, like that was like the prime time. But now I have like my last, because you guys know I drive for like non-emergency medical people, but my last trip ends like right when this stream started. Like I have to pick up my last person at 7:30, so it's so late. So it's like my free time starts like 8 o'clock, and by that time I've had my entire day, so I'd be tired. And tired is code for lazy, so like I'd be lazy and tired. But I mean the weekends are open, but I'd be like, oh, I just work 5 days. I don't want to do anything on the weekends. But I mean, I could stand to try a little bit harder. That's actually big facts. being tired on the weekends is an excuse. At least for me, it is. I'm not trying to hate on anybody that's tired on the weekends. You guys probably actually do real work, but not me. I think Kaiju number 8 is running up to a point to where it can be great or go soft with the stakes, kind of like early My Hero and Black Clover. Yeah, the stuff, it's weird because we're at the point with Kaiju number 8 where it's like Kafka has pretty much always kind of been broken. So like depending on how this goes and what the losses are in this next little war battle skirmish part will be very interesting. The anime in JJK didn't catch my attention, but I'll binge the second season when it's done. Ooh, dude, the second season's gonna be hype. Like the second season has like the two best arcs in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like the Shibuya arc. Shibuya arc is fire. I love the Shibuya arc. It's really good. Could be that Tabata has just a thing for underdogs and outcasts, but to what extent? To what extent? Like you can't just have the underdogs and the outcasts win every time. It makes the story stale. It makes it really stale. Kind of don't like that. Yep, that. And I wondered what you would think of Toga and Shigaraki turning good because how Toga acting is definitely thinks she'll get redeemed and Deku is determined to save Shiggy. I would hate that. I would hate that so much. I actually hate Toga as a character in the story. I don't like her as a character. She's so bad. Cause it's like this is my opinion. Obviously, if you disagree, that's totally fine. But she does not really fit in with the rest of the league. Like it's like Shigaraki has like deep mental trauma and is actually crazy. Like Dabi has this deep family trauma and is actually crazy. Spinner's a mutant, has been like ostracized from society and is a little crazy. Toga is just weird. Like she was just a weird girl and just wanted to be like a killer. Like I guess like it's just weird. It's like why do you fit in with these people? Toga's so mid. Toga is such a mid character to me. She just like she literally adds nothing to the story. Like if you take Toga out of My Hero, literally nothing changes at all. Nothing changes. The story is the exact same. It is the exact same story. It's crazy. Rock Spirit, Black Clover manga, the Rock Spirit. What are you talk? We don't talk about stuff that doesn't exist in this stream. That doesn't exist. Uh, what do you think makes for one an underwhelming villain compared to a new gen antagonist? For me, my issue is he never takes W's. You notice how he didn't win a single fight this war so far. Yeah, I'd see, and that's the thing with villain portrayal is because when you have a villain or an antagonist that's supposed to be scary or they're supposed to be a big deal or you're supposed to care, you want the reader to care. If they never win, then you don't care because they're not scary. I hate to pick on Black Clover, but that was a big problem with Dante. Dante was supposed to be really, really menacing, and in the very beginning he was, because like, oh crap, like he's crazy. He like killed Gauch. He's like a beast. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? He beat up Asta in like no time. This is he Yami can't even beat him. What's happening? And then he just loses, and then he loses again, and then he loses again. So it's like you can't have a scary villain without good portrayal. So if your villain never wins, it's not scary. Aizen has amazing portrayal because he claps everybody. Aizen's a good villain. Dio clapped almost everybody except for like the main characters. He's a good villain. Frieza killed some. It's like there's a trend that good villains have, even if they're not killing people, they have dubs. Like you can't have a good villain. I'd be hard pressed to find a good villain that has no dubs, be it in fights or in motives. Quan loves driving through these northeastern Ohio construction zones, bro. I be wanting, bro. I hate driving in Ohio. I hate it. Ohio has the worst drivers. Somebody can fight me on that one. Ohio has the worst drivers. No state has worse drivers than Ohio, hands down. Hands down, bro. You said bros came out of hibernation. Big facts. Unless you're talking about the bags, because that's just how I look. And Kino, you say who don't like the Shibuya arc? You know, a lot of people hate the Shibuya arc because a lot of people hate how it ended for Maito or Mahito, however you say it. I think it actually is Maito. I just started saying Mahito out of for no reason, but a lot of people hate it for the ending. I think it was fine though. I think it was cool. It was refreshing when Asta stopped chasing Sister Lily. It made me happy. Most manga wouldn't do that. Yeah, most manga would probably keep the trope up to the end. Honestly, it was a trope that needed. I don't want to say it needed to die, but I think it should have ended sooner. But there was really no good point to end it sooner, so I get it. Like he did it when he had chance, but you know. Togo's given the one quirk that can't function in normal society. I guess that makes her evil. I guess she's just like, I guess giving her so much so much focus in the league was annoying to me, or not annoying, but it just felt like there was no reason to. Like I feel like if you would have switched, I get it, she's a girl, so like, oh, here's like our female villain or something, but like if you would have like Spinner and the mutant plot line, the racist mutant plot line or the discriminatory mutant plot line would have been a great plot line. You could have focused so much more on that instead of Toga, you know? Like I get a lot of people like her cuz oh my gosh, it's like the crazy chick, like oh man, but it's like like talking about the actual story, she doesn't add anything, and that's my problem. Juan's from Ohio? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Ohio. I don't know what it is about Ohio right now, but it's like we became like a meme out of nowhere. Everybody talks about how crazy it is here, and it's really not. Like we just be chilling. It's so like it's a oddly normal place in my opinion. It's one of the cheaper places to live too. Like in America, like I don't know how many of you are actually in America, but like in terms of like cost of living, rent and stuff, it's in the top 10 like cheapest states to live in. It's pretty dope. Uh, where is I at? Lost my spot. I feel like Toga is the one league member worth saving with her cork being blocked. I don't know what you mean by that. Code from Boruto gets no W's. Code is a bum, bro. Code is a straight bum. Uriah, you still never told me if I actually know you in real life or if this is just a name on the internet. You have not told me. I need to know. I have to know. Uh, nah, with Toga, it's more so her quirk affecting her since what her quirk does not socially acceptable, which is kind of interesting. See, and that's the issue. It's only she's kind of interesting. That's the problem with her character right there is she is only kind of interesting. So it's like, unfortunately, I know this sounds like I'm being harsh, but you can't have a great story if you're only kind of interesting. You can't be a great character if you're only kind of interesting. Oh, you said it's just a name? Okay. That's is that your actual name? Then that's really weird because like for me to meet a person in real life that's name was legitimately Uriah, and then for that to be your name, that's very interesting. It's weird. I mean, if it's your name, I'm not saying you're weird, but I'm just saying the situation is weird. Now, see what happened in Jade in Four Nights, bro. Yeah, I was talking about it with somebody earlier. It was kind of weird because he just died. Like he just got impaled through the chest and died. Granted, Percival not being able to save him was kind of surprising. I did like that because it just shows that Percival's ability doesn't work on everybody, so everybody's not safe. Only Percival's safe from, dying and coming back to life. But it's one of those. Um, I was saying I thought it was interesting how weak Jade was in comparison to his team. The fact that Jade's like way weaker than Ysolda, like Ysolda was able to blow his arm off, and Cheon clearly one shot the guy. Like so like I don't know why Jade was so weak. It's weird. Uh, but yeah, big ups to Nakaba for having a character close to the main cast die really early in the adventure. Not a lot of manga could do that. They really don't. I just hope he doesn't bring him back. I don't want to see no Chaos Knight Jade in 100 chapters. Just leave him dead. Just leave him dead. Like, please leave him dead. Why won't Guinevere just keep her mouth shut around Arthur? See, I actually kind of like that about her character, is because she explained to him that you can't change the future, and if you do, there's consequences. So in her mind, even if she talks around him, it almost doesn't matter because she's telling him you cannot change the future. You're only going to make it worse for yourself. And it's this great like back and forth where Arthur, being the king of chaos, is embodying the fact that he's going to try it anyway, despite it being futile or being told to him that it is futile. So you have that chaotic nature going back and forth with what she's telling him. So to her, it doesn't matter. It does not matter because this is going to correct itself anyway. Said you were born and raised in Youngstown, now in Ohio, northeastern Ohio, is a weird link to serial killers who commit their crimes in different states recently. Yeah. I want to say that. There is actually an odd amount of serial killers that are from here. Actually, it's kind of strange. It's everybody I meet be seeming kind of normal though. But maybe I just haven't met any. Well, hopefully, well, obviously I haven't met any of them. Facts Ohio is pretty normal. IDKY became a meme out of nowhere. It's just a weird place because it's like it's actually one of the like more populous states. Also, it's oddly top in a lot of stuff. It's like one of the top 10 most populous states. So but there's nothing here though. So it's not like Florida, Cali, New York, Texas, but it's like right under those, which is weird because you would think it would be boring like Kansas or Illinois. No shots to. I know there's probably one or two people from Kansas or Illinois in here. I apologize, but it's not weird. It's not like those places. It's not like Indiana. Like it's not like Indiana. I agree about Toga. They made her crazy just because no trauma, no loss, no death. Right? Yeah, it's just a. She just is. When you have all these other characters in her group that have good reasons twice, like you have these characters have good reasons, and she's just like, I'm crazy. It's like what? Said you're working on your manga collection. Just got the 7DS box set 4 as well. Finishing my fairy tale collection. I'll send you a picture tomorrow. Nice, nice. I only have. I think I almost have half of the Seven Deadly Sins manga, and I think I'm missing the most recent 2 volumes of Four Knights because I did start buying the Four Knight volumes, but I don't have my bookshelf here. I guess my bookshelf used to be behind me, but it's not anymore because I'm somewhere different. But so I can't show you. You also think people just love the yandere girls? Is that what the crazy ones are? I only know what the tsundere ones are. I know there's like a bunch of different deres, but yeah. Did I see King and Diane's kid in the Origins game? Yeah, it's funny because like I feel like ever since I seen those eyes, I was speculating that it was, but I wasn't really for sure. I can't remember if she was in the initial trailer that I had talked about. I'm overall really excited for the game though. I was a big fan of Grand Cross. Like I was playing it pretty heavy up until a little bit ago. Like I know I quit, but I got back into it in the time that I wasn't uploading regularly. I was playing a lot of Grand Cross. Like it was kind of crazy. I wasn't spending any money. I'm free to play. I'm not getting into spending money. If enough people cared, I'd show you guys my Grand Cross account if you wanted to see it. But I doubt anybody actually cares that much. Oh, you said Twice definitely invokes a lot of emotion for me. See, I liked it Twice's backstory. I know he was a lot of people's like favorite villain in the League of Villains, but like his fight, I want to say, what was it during the Liberation arc? It was hype. Like it was good. Like when he was like really experiencing pain and figuring out he was the real one, and then really like fully unlocked his quirk to himself. That was hype. It was good stuff. It was really good stuff. Toga is an example of how unpredictable quirks are, and the personality powers that comes with it, as well as her treatment for having that power. I mean, yeah, because she was treated kind of weird for her power, but it was more so like what she was doing with her power was kind of more frowned upon than the power itself, in my opinion. I guess even with the power, if she wasn't crazy, there's no way she'd be able to use it all like that. But I'm sure there's probably a bunch of people that are like that in the My Hero verse. Said Toga wasn't even treated that bad though, especially compared to. That's true. Like she wasn't even like when you compare to how she was probably treated compared to Spinner, not even close. When you compare what Dobby had to go through as like a kid, not even close. When you compare it to Shiggy, it's not even close. She just feels so odd out. She's the odd one out in the group. She said chill on code. Kishimoto setting him up for a big W. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I will say that if Code was the one to what's that kid's name? Damon or Damien? If Code was the one to take out Damien, that would actually be hype. Because I actually am not a fan of Damien, like at all. I think he's kind of a lame character. I do like Kaiju number 8. The main cast is not crazy young and can step into commander roles and makes it easy to kill lead characters. I do think that's maybe one of the reasons why they started off with so many characters. Because I remember when Kaiju first came out, like I think it was chapter 2, I was complaining about how many characters there were like getting intros and getting screen time. It just felt like too many characters to kind of like keep track of. But the benefit of that is like you could actually kill some of those characters because there's so many of them that people have like a kind of connection with, and like really, and it could be used for development for the more important characters. Like you can have a bigger cast and then cut it down with that. So I mean, I hope. Well, see, because they killing the characters I like them, then I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad. So hopefully they can like the author can do something with that. So you got volumes 1 and 3 of Four Nights. My comic score you didn't have the other two. I've been getting them from Books a Million from BAM. I don't know what bookstore you have where you're from. Um, I doubt that Borders isn't a thing anymore, is it? You guys even know about Borders? Do they have Borders in other places, or was that just an Ohio thing for a little bit? But they closed all the Borders and replaced them with Books a Million. So there's that. Oh, bro, thank you for the $5. I genuinely appreciate that. I wasn't really expecting anything today since I've been gone for so long, but thank you. Big ups. I appreciate it. If you want to, you can put a note with that and I'll read it. Well, I guess I read everything, but yeah, thank you. uh, Juan hates kids confirmed. What did I say that said that I hated kids? What? What happened? When did I say I hated kids? What? What is something I want to see most from the final arc of Black Clover? Mm, I don't want to see it from the final arc of Black Clover. See, it's weird because I know a lot of people would probably hate this and think it would be terrible, but I really want Yuno to be the Wizard King first. Like I want it to be something super ugly. Like I want it to be so ugly. Like I want it to be like, oh, Yuno gets the title of the Wizard King and he accepts it and then he's like, I'm giving it to Asta and then just goes somewhere else. Like goes to like the Spade or something. And I get it. That would be so ugly and a lot of people would hate it. But I would just want Yuno to get the Wizard King spot first. It would be great. It really would be great. There's that. I'm also more of a fan of the Asta and Mimosa as opposed to Asta and Noel because it will follow Bleach. Because I've been saying this from the start that I think that is going to play out like Bleach, so it would make sense. But I know a lot of people hate that too. But those are the two things I want to see a lot from the ending of Black Clover. Uh, what are my hopes for the Four Nights anime? I just hope for good animation. Um, it's weird. I know a lot of people don't like this, but I actually kind of want like a pinch of fillerness in there. Not like pure filler, like not like Black Clover or One Piece filler where they just make stuff longer, not like a whole filler arc, but more similar to like JJK. Where I know people don't think about JJK having a lot of filler, but like more so to where in the JJK anime they were able to more flesh out people's characters and added a lot more in between moments in the shows, and I guess it works out because Jujutsu Kaisen chapters, outside of the complexity of some of the powers and stuff, they typically were pretty quick chapters. So there was a lot of in between space to really give people personality and add in jokes and stuff like that. But that's one of the things I hope they do for Four Nights is like add like some more, like add some more personal touches to it. Because Seven Deadly Sins had a lot of pretty funny moments with like Hawk and like Meliodas and Diane and them. Like they had some pretty funny moments. So I hope that they add more in between moments because so far the manga of Fortnite doesn't have as many funny moments as Seven Deadly Sins had to me personally. So I hope they add more comedy in the anime. Obviously, good animation is number one. Like if it's because we already know it's not going to be like what it was for season 3 and 4, but so good animation number one. That one is definitely a given. But yeah, I want some comedy. You still think Kimetsu no Yaiba is mid? You are correct, sir. You would be correct. It is kind of mid. Thoughts on major anime villains turning good in general, especially ones with sad backstories but little redeeming qualities, especially since it's a prevalent shonen might happen in My Hero and such. I don't like it. I think that there are villains that can be redeemed. I'm not saying that there can't be, but for the most part, I think people should just stay committed to what they already established and just let them go down evil. Now, if you have a villain that's been always in an inner turmoil and kind of is teetering back and forth, or a villain that's not really evil but they just have like a specific goal Like take Scar from Full Metal. Like it wasn't that Scar was evil, it was that his people were like legitimately wronged and he was trying to right that wrong. So it's like to him he was actually a hero. To in Scar's mind, he was enacting justice. So he wasn't necessarily an evil person, you know? So like when you have villains that aren't necessarily like by our standards evil, like they're not just out here killing people and blowing up kids' houses and punching little kids in the face, it makes them like when you have that, okay, they're evil, they shouldn't be redeemed. But you have somebody that's actually a hero in their own mind, and then they get redeemed, it fits a lot better. Or like Zuko from Avatar, he just wanted to capture the Avatar because that's what his dad told him to do. That's what he was raised to do. That's what he grew up. The Fire Nation is just amazing. All the other nations suck. So it's like he's not really an evil person. He was just raised to think a certain way. He believes he is the hero. So like when you have a villain, as I said, that believes they are the hero, it makes it better for redeeming. Not just some senselessly evil monster that becomes a good guy. It's weird. It's super weird. I hate it when that happens. I want to see Jack stay dead. Tabata doesn't kill anybody unless it's a flashback, and you know this. So Jack's gonna be alive. He's 100% alive. If I had to bet money on Jack being alive, I'd bet money he was. Gotta hear my thoughts on Peter Pan. Thoughts on Neverland. I think the spell is hype. I think it makes sense for the like connections. I don't like that it wasn't explained. Granted, it could get explained later, but it's like as I said earlier in the stream, we have this bandage. We got with the Rock Lee bandage. We don't know what's going on. Always had it since the time skip. We don't know what's happening, and it just unravels, and then Peter and then Neverland's activated. That's like horrible execution. It's like you presented a mystery and just didn't give us anything for it. You was like, here's a mystery. We're not gonna tease it all like that. We're not gonna explain the mystery. We're just gonna say, bam, here it is. So that kind of sucks. It's like lazy. I need Tabata to go full circle with Morris versus Mars. It's funny, Kino. I was just talking to Josuke earlier today. Mars is not coming back, bro. Mars is not coming back in the story. Don't even think about it. Mars is not coming back. He's never coming back in the story. He's gone. The Diamond Kingdom does not exist. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. I think Shura is going to be near Shiki's level in Universe Zero. Poseidon and Nero needed Shiki to get stronger to stop Shura because he's a tyrant, and implies that Shura is stronger than Nero in Universe Zero. I would actually be hyped with that. I would be really, really okay with that, in my opinion. I low key wanted to see Jack do some crazy move, but then he got packed up, but he might live, bro. Because it was like William healed him before he got one shot, so I think he's fine. I really do. Like there was like all the glowiness in the trees. I think he's fine. I really do. Who would Noel end up with if Mimosa got Asta? Hey man, nobody. Or well no, you know gets charming. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe nobody. I mean, sucks for Noel fans. Like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. He said Jack needs to hang up his captain cloak. He got snuck. It was a sneak attack. Sneak attacks don't count for me. Like if you, to an extent, I'll say to an extent. To an extent, sneak attacks do not count. That's the statement. I'm saying, well, kids would be broken. Like they be their mana pool will go crazy. It will go crazy. A Silva and a Grimbelly, oh, bro, come on now, be nuts. I want to see Nash as a Magic Knight in the end. That would be interesting just to know where he ends up. See, that's the thing is like I used to be really hyped for like a Black Clover Next Generation because with this kind of story you could do like a lot of stuff. And like the cool thing with sequels is you can tone down the power levels and then gradually bring them back up and then surpass them again, and it's hype. But when you do stuff like freaking Boruto and like you just make the characters be mad stronger than they were in the original series so quickly, it kind of takes away from it. It takes away from it a little bit. It's not as hype to me. Where have I been? I've been working and lazy. What program do I use to stream? I just use OBS. OBS. I just use the regular OBS. I don't use OBS Studio. I think OBS Studio is weird. Oh wait, no, I lied. I lied. I actually do use OBS Studio. I think the regular OBS is weird because one of them's normal and the other one looks strange. So I just use. Dang, I can't show you it either. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I can show you it because I think it's hidden. Dang. I don't know. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I just use regular OBS Studio. I don't know if you can or not because I can't remember if I have it toggled on or off. But yeah, that's what I use. I think a lot of people use OBS. I know StreamYards is actually kind of lit right now. RT's been showing me a lot about StreamYards. StreamYards kind of hype. But like, yeah, just OBS through YouTube. Uh, shouldn't Dark Moon allow Yami to negate time freezing effects? I agree. I think if he has it up prior to trying to get froze, I think it should neg it. But I don't. If it's like a weird reaction time thing, then I would disagree. Um, bro, I'm right saying Valkyrie comes back before Mars is wild. Won't spoil, but the Eden's one will be making a comeback soon based off the latest leaks. Oh, there's leaks for the chapter already. I haven't really been on Twitter that much today, so I don't really know like what the big spoilers are. Many people forget that Yami had Wizard King ambitions. He was a rival of William Vondas. Did Yami? I don't think Yami wanted to be the king though. Did he? I thought he just wanted to make Julius proud. I thought I didn't think he wanted to actually be like Wizard King, like ruler person. Because he didn't even believe in himself in terms of being a captain. I could be wrong though. You really think Noel's staying single? I mean, it's because it just makes for the story to be more like Bleach, cause Bleach threw me, bro. I promise you, Bleach threw me. I would have if you like time travel and ask me like 10 years ago, did I think Ichigo was gonna end up with Rukia or Odahime? I would have bet my college loan money that he was gonna end up with Rukia, and I would have been even broker than I am now after I would have lost that bet because I really thought. So now I said after that point I'm not going to trust it no more. I'm not trusting it. I also thought Naruto was going to end up with Sakura too. I don't trust it. I don't if it's obvious, I don't trust it. Nope, you're not going to trick me again. Nope, I'm not going to fall for it. This one's too obvious. It's too obvious. Realistically, Asta will really wait, realistically will Asta really be any different than Julius and stay around long? I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. Yami as a Wizard King would be hilarious. I'm here for it. Bro, I'm saying. It would be like Marks would have such a hard time keeping up with him. Actually, where is Marks? I haven't seen Marks this entire time. Like, since this whole like Lucius stuff, I have not. Have you guys seen Marks? I feel like he's just been MIA. I could just be tripping though. Even in Shippuden, I thought he was gonna end up with Sakura. Yeah, because that's who he wanted for the longest time. Yes. Why would I not think that? You're talking to a weekly Naruto reader. Well, I wasn't always weekly. I think I started weekly Shippuden. Ooh, it was definitely in Shippuden. It wasn't Naruto weekly. I was way too young, and the internet wasn't where it was. I think I started Shippuden weekly during the. It was before the war, way before that. I think it was around the Hidan and Kaku stuff. I think that's when I started to be weekly on Shippuden. But yeah, I really did think that. I did. Looking forward to season 2 of Eason Joey. Oh, bro, it's gonna be hype. It's gonna be so hype. Realistically, well, oh yeah, I already read that. Charmy could get with real. Their kids would be crazy. OP. Oh my gosh, Charmy. I'm not a fan of Charmy. I don't know how many people on here know this. Well, let me phrase that better. It's not that I'm not a fan of Charmy. It's that I think Charmy is like a gag character. Like I don't think she's like, or maybe this is obvious to you guys, but I don't think Charmy is a character that's supposed to be taken seriously. Like I think Charmy is a character that is supposed to be a joke. Like also I think Charmy's gonna end up with Yuno. Like if I had to do like the whole shipping thing, like I think Charmy would end up with Yuno if I had to bet. Because Yuno's like oddly nice to Charmy. Not saying Yuno's like mean to everybody else, but he feels like really nice to Charmy. Bro, imagine if Tabata trolls and Asta end up with Ichika. Oh, I would hate that so much. I would not like that at all. I really wouldn't. I don't even. That's like that's almost as bad as the Asta and Nero people. That's probably the one I hate the most. Asta and Nero is number one for the one I hate the most, and then Asta and Ichika is probably a close second. No, no, it's not. It's just second. It's not close. The Asta and Nero one is easily the worst one for sure. Asta and Ichika is second. He said that shit was shot down the moment Naruto says he hates people who lie to themselves. Does he? Because he likes Obito, and Obito was lying to himself for a long time. So Naruto's a hypocrite. Is Asta mentally prepared to handle the job of the Wizard King? No. What? Well, let me take that back. It's not that he isn't mentally prepared. He's not mentally mature enough for it. But in terms of like the preparation, I think he could do it. But I would prefer if they handled it to where like there was somebody in the middle until he was ready. Cause like if he just gets it right now at what is he like 19 or 20, I feel like that's a little like his character, like the way his character has developed, he isn't mature enough as a character in my opinion. Juan be hating, I can tell you ain't a fan of Boy X Luffy either. Actually, I do not like Luffy ships in general. Cause like Luffy just seems like he's not interested in anyone. But if I had to pick, Luffy and Boa makes a lot of sense. That one makes a lot of sense. The Luffy Boa makes so much sense because no one else is even like on the radar. And not saying that Boa is on Luffy's radar, but there's like all the other ones don't even make sense. Like anybody who says Luffy and Nami should be in jail. You should be in jail if you think Luffy should end up with Nami. Legit. You need to be incarcerated because they just don't have that kind of relationship. And Luffy Robin makes even less sense. You need I don't know what's worse than jail, but that's what those people need too. No, it's clear during the war that Sakura still had feelings for Sasuke, and the last movie made it clear he would end up with Hinata. See, I'm talking about. See, for me, thinking he was going to end up with Sakura was before the last. See, because the thing was like she resuscitated him. Sakura like resuscitated him. I was like, oh, that seals it. And then when Minato was like, you remind me of Naruto's mom, I was like, oh, that seals it. He was like, Sakura reminds him of Kushina. Like it's there. It's literally right there. So that's why I was like, I really thought it was gonna be Sakura. Cause you had his whole dad saying you remind him of his mom. And she resuscitated him. It was like it was right there. It was right there. And then Sasuke could have got Karin, and then Hinata would have just like faded into non-existence. Like yeah, that's how it was supposed to set up. That's how it was supposed to be. What is going on, my boy Dan Adams? It's a very normal YouTube name you have chosen. Sinbad. Oh man, it's one of the people I've been waiting for. What is going on, bro? What's your terrible takes? Luffy and Vivi. Oh wow, that's worse than Luffy and Nami. That's even worse. That's even worse. Vivi with anybody besides Koza makes no sense. Who told you Luffy and Vivi, JK? I hope that's not yours. I hope that's not one you just think of on your own. That should happen. Because if that's one, our friendship is gonna go in a different direction. I'm be looking at you different if that's your ship. I hope it isn't. I really don't. Because that one's terrible. Luffy and Vivi is like Luffy and what's her name and Rebecca. The only secondary one for Luffy outside of Boa that is acceptable is Reiju. That's it. That's literally it. But that doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't. But that's the closest second to Boa. All the other ones don't make sense at all. I already know it sucks. We're about to get the Luffy and Bonnie people now since Bonnie's been really like prominent. But no, Luffy and Nami do have a tender relationship, even though it's not inherently romantic. See, that's the thing though. There's no type of like, there's no romance on either side. So it's like, why? It's just like, why even bring it up? It's like two people that are just really good. I don't, they're just normal friends. Like, they're just regular friends. Naruto is more like Kushina than he was with Minato, in my opinion. Minato didn't have any time to get to know his son. I mean, that's true. Naruto is, yeah, as opposed to versus Minato and Kushina, Naruto's way more like his mom than his dad. Magna would just baseball bat a fireball at Lucius' face. Bro, if Lucius, imagine what would happen if Lucius. I actually kind of want this to happen. I want Lucius to get hit with Soul Chain Deathmatch and then it not work. Or like I want him to get hit with it and like it just like overloads Magna. I think that would be fire. That would be hype just to like show that that spell has a weakness and to get Magna up out of there. That would be hype. Oof. Luffy's double fruit shortens his life, and Monkey D. Luffy points to a short but eventful life based on the other recipients. Not sure if Luffy settles down. I mean, I agree with you and I don't agree. Like, I agree and disagree. Because Garp obviously is also a D. Monkey D. Garp. He's old. He lived a long life. Luffy's dad, Monkey D. Dragon, is, he's older ish, middle aged. He's lived a moderately eventful life. So, I mean, those are two examples in his own family right there. The one guy, Jagger D. Saul, he's still alive. It's been a minute. He has to be old. I mean, and he's a giant, I think, or giant-ish. So I mean, there's that. Like, so it's like I do think it's interesting how much time shortening or life shortening Luffy has done over his time with Gear Second and with the hormones and all that. He sounds like a freaking athlete, Olympic athlete. But no, it's just I don't think Luffy's gonna die. I know there's some people that think Luffy's gonna die at the end of One Piece. I don't think so. I don't think Oda's gonna kill Luffy at the end of it. I think that would be too much of a harsh ending for the story that he's written. Oh, you know what? Yuta, I take it back. Yuta makes a lot of sense. Yuta as a number two, I'd be okay with that. Luffy and Yuta would be an acceptable number two, but Luffy and Boa still makes more sense to me. But Yuta is not. That's actually a close second. I will give you that one. Luffy and Stussy, bro. No. What? The vampire clone lady? No. Might as well say Luffy X Big Mom at this point. Like Luffy X Smoothie. We're just saying names now. We're just saying names. What are we doing? Like, no, he's not on to something. Luffy Vivi is not on to anything. Do not condone that. But Utah, I would take that one. I really would. Leo a hybrid, Noel a fodder. No, the Leo's not coming back. Leo's in the same category as Mars. Leo's in. It's one of those things. You know who Leo reminds me of? This is really funny. But Leo reminds me of a lamer Shuhei. I don't know how many people like are super into Bleach, but Shuhei was the one guy who was Tosin's lieutenant. He had like the really cool Shikai that was like it was the twin scythes that were connected by chains. He had so much potential and he had a Bankai, but we didn't get to see it in the actual story. It had a light novel where they showed it, but basically what I'm getting at is they have a ton of potential to be really, really, really cool, but the mangaka does not care. They do not give an F at all. They don't want to see them shine. Leo could be so hype, does not want to see him shine. You say, yeah, that's your actual name? That's crazy. That is crazy. You say you have a Captain Dan Adams as my handle on something. Sounds like Captain. It actually does. If someone told me their name was Captain Dan, if somebody told me their name was Captain Dan Adams, I would assume that they own a boat. Like no cap, would assume that you own a boat. Straight up. You might. You actually just might. Quancredible. The funniest thing is in my actual name there is legit a D in the middle of it. There actually just is. Sanji X Pudding is just a given. That's the only person Sanji can end up with. Facts. That's the only person that'll put up with Sanji enough. I know a lot of people want Sanji X Nami, but see, I don't like the obvious stuff. That one feels too obvious. But Sanji X Pudding makes sense. Naruto gaining more perspective on the world is what led him to save Kurama, Obito, and eventually Sasuke. Are you guys talking about something else? Oh, Hinata's the only one who ever gave any F's about Naruto, who nearly died protecting Naruto from pain and Obito. Yeah, that's because she was like this like creepy stalker person who like followed him around all the time. I didn't he like save her one time when they were like 3 and she was just like obsessed from then. That's like a lot. That's like a lot for me. Like I don't dislike Hinata as a character, believe it or not. I think she's cool for what she is. And she has some decent development. I kinda wish she was utilized a bit more. But that goes back to like this whole thing where like Kishimoto is like really bad at female characters. It's funny because like Kishimoto is like the blueprint for being terrible at female characters, in my opinion. Because it's like it's different when you're just bad and you don't even try. But it's like Kishimoto had a good foundation for characters like Hinata and like Tsunade, and just kind of fell flat with it. And that's the part that makes me even more upset. Because my thing is like if you're just like DBZ, right, and you just don't have a prominent female cast, okay, I get it. I understand up front what this series is supposed to be, and there's not a prominent female cast. I get it. You have Videl, you have 18, you have Chi Chi, Boma. That's it. Granted, they did add Kelly and Khalifa later on, and if you really want to split hairs, Universe 2 chicks, but it's not. That's not what the series is, and I'm okay with it. But with Naruto, when you have the blueprint for like good female characters, and you just kind of drop the ball and sideline them, it sucks. But to Naruto's credit, to kind of save them a little bit, they did that to everybody that wasn't named Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi. So I get it. I totally get it. Quan B mid. Wow, Kino, really? That's the first thing I see when I scroll down. Quan B mid. Thanks, bro. So Sinbad, I actually the way Luffy got Gear 5, I don't like it. As for what Gear 5 is, I think it's too silly. It's a bit too silly for me. I get it. It's how One Piece used to be in the beginning, where Luffy was more silly when he was fighting. That's how it was. Like I've seen the beginning of One Piece a million times. Like all those early fights had an element of silliness to it, but I like the fact that One Piece like kind of got more serious as it went on because the stakes are higher. He's fighting more serious people. So I'm not a fan of that exact style that Oda's going for, but I understand what he's doing, and it is kind of a callback to what he used to do. I don't really like Gear 5 like that. I wish Luffy would have stayed. I wish like it would have stayed more grounded in like okay, the Gum Gum fruit is just that. There's nothing more, nothing else to it. I do kind of like that it adds this extra layer to Shanks. That's kind of interesting because I just have this thing, bro, where I think Shanks is shady. He's shady. It's something about him that is just shady, bro. It really is. So I do kind of like that. Naruto cast over JJK female cast facts. The JJK female cast is literally just like Maki, and that's like it. I mean, there's Nobra, but like, where's she at? you know. Uh, that's true. That's true too. The only reason that Gear 5 is broken is because it's Luffy, and I think that's the way that I think that's the thing for a lot of Devil Fruits. It's like they're only broken because of who they are given to. Like if you switch Law and Luffy's Devil Fruit, they both become absolute fodder. Like Luffy's not doing anything with the Op Fruit. He's doing literally nothing. Luffy's a moron. He doesn't know how to use it. He would never know how to use it. And same thing for Law. Like Law is not gonna be really out here with the Gum Gum Fruit going crazy. So it's like the person who gets the fruit matters a lot. I do agree with that one. Anybody else with Luffy's fruit probably would not be nearly as successful as he is. Maybe some people, but not like a lot. I think Shiki will end up with Rebecca, even though it's obvious. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's like that Natsu and Lucy thing. I think that Mashima's pretty obvious about it. Am I watching Hell's Paradise? No, a lot of people have been telling me about it though. Like I've been seeing like Gold Souls has talked about it to me a lot. I think Josuke and RT have read it. I don't know if Rax has or not, but they've told me I should check it out. I know the first episode came out last week or something. Cause you know me, if the anime is good, I'll totally read the manga. I could see Nami x Luffy. No, no, you can't. No, you wouldn't. That's not a ship. It's not a ship. Uh, I think if Naruto's team was format like Ruby teams, I would have Naruto, Sasuke, Hinata, and Sakura with Senju cells. I haven't seen Ruby. It looked interesting for a second, but I know like the animation throws a lot of people off, but Rax has done a pretty good job of convincing me I should stay away from it. He says I wouldn't like it. I mean, Rax probably knows what he's talking about. I don't know if you guys think it's good, I might check it out. But Rax is the only person that has an opinion on it that I've ever talked to. So like the only one person that's ever seen it to me said it was bad. So I'm just like, eh. Sanji X Nami ship, not gonna lie, bro. No, it's Sanji put Nami. Like Nami don't need, like she likes Sanji, but I don't think not all like that. I don't think not all like that. You said JJK female cast over the Naruto one? No, it's definitely the other way around. Like Maki, granted, Maki has had more development in my opinion than any of the Naruto females, but it's like that's the only one. That's literally the only one. They have one that has an actual like legit development. So it's like I can't, and it's not even like it's not even that crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like this was groundbreaking. Like oh my gosh, this is real cinema. Like this is like it's not like this is the next Shakespeare level writing. It's just like it was just okay. So nah, not for me. Made it to the time skip. You're on Fishman Island arc. Honestly, the time skip for me with One Piece is kind of where things slow down. I enjoyed parts of the Fishman Island arc, but some parts felt a little long. I think this is where the anime starts to get bloated in some areas. Um, but then again, the manga was rough in certain points, but I was reading it weekly, so it was like it might have felt longer on the weekly grind. But there are some good moments in Fishman Island. And Dressrosa is pretty hype in a lot of parts too. The arc afterwards. Oh wait, no. Dressrosa is two arcs afterwards. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's two arcs afterwards. Shanks is shady, and I like that. He appears to love chaos with a lack of care for others. Luffy being gullible can lead to a heel turn for him. Bro, I'm saying this because like everybody says that Shanks is like this great guy, but I feel like that's no, no. It's there's something going on with Shanks, and I don't know what it is. There's something sus. It's just sus. What's going on in man? You said Charmy's mid, not gonna lie. That's what I'm talking about. Charmy's mid. See episode 2 of Hell's Paradise dropping tomorrow. That fast and I'm already behind. Said hot take. I think JJK female cast is overrated. Maki I can see, but where she gone since Shibuya? I know that's so weird that like see for me, when characters disappear like that, it's like I don't care if you want to. Oh, I do. That'd be a lie. I do care when people kill characters. But like, if you're just gonna make a character go missing, you have to say something. Like, and I'm not saying you gotta say something immediately, but like, it's been like 50, 60 chapters, and you haven't even touched on a main cast member being gone. It's like you gotta allude an artist, author note, something. Like you gotta say something. He's just like keeping it under wraps. Just keeping it under wraps, bro. I think Rax is a little bit too deep into the hate, but ever since Volume 6, the main cast has been intolerant. Not helped by the incident that happened with Crow's old voice actor. Oh, there was some voice actor drama. It's honestly weird how much drama surrounds voice actors. Like, not even just the American ones, but I'm even talking about, like, some of the Japanese voice actors. Like, they get caught in, like, these, like, infidelity or cheating scandals, and then they just get dropped by all of their jobs, and they're just, like, gone. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. When I mentioned the JJK female cast, it's not about development per se. It's about how interesting they are to see. Look at all the female characters in current arcs better than watching Tamari. Wow. Why did Tamari catch a stray like that? You could have said 10-10. You could have said Sakura, but Tamari had to catch a stray. That's crazy. Cause like Tamara is one of the more liked female characters in Naruto. I will say her development is a bit lackluster. She's kind of just how she is, just always. Which I mean isn't a terrible thing. I don't think she's like. I think she's just probably one of the characters people just like because she's very consistent. It's a consistent character. But like the thing with JJK characters or female characters, because they're kind of just like they're almost kind of bland. Like they kind of just are how they are, and that's kind of just it. It's similar. It's almost like if you had a whole female cast of people like Tamari, and that's just it. It would get kind of bland. You know what I mean? Like Tamari's cool because she's a contrast to a lot of different female characters in Naruto. Like Hinata and Sakura are totally different. Tamari's obviously way different than them. Tenten's super mid. Tsunade's kind of interesting, but that's kind of it, and that's why their female cast is bad. But like the JJK female cast, it's like there's like five Tamaris, and then there's Miwa who gets no screen time. So it's like, like what are we talking about? I think. Oh wait, that was the voice actor thing. There was a comment I was literally reading, and it's just like gone. They dropped a side story as well today for Hell's Paradise manga, which was fire. Do I have to read that to understand what's going on in the anime, or is it just like something extra, or does it have any like does it pertain to the main story? Mashal dropped two, right? I think Mashal drops today. Did it drop today or yesterday? It dropped this week, I think. I'm reading Mashal right now. I'm not caught up though. I'm only chapter 75. I'm like at chapter 75. I'm not at 80 yet. I don't think, or maybe I'm past 80. I'm not at chapter 100. I think it's 75. It's either 75 or 95. But I'm like I'm 75% sure I'm on chapter 75. Uh, there's definitely something sus about Shanks. He's too mysterious, lurking around in the shadows. I'm saying he's sus. He's really sus. He's super sus. Cause like the whole stuff with him and the gum gum fruit and just how he be looking, he just be looking sus. Isn't he somewhere crazy too? Like, or I mean, isn't he from somewhere crazy too? Like he's from like some weird place or something. Tamari is not her. I mean, that's true. She is not her. I would definitely give you that. I think Shanks likes to protect people who can push society. Does Shanks need help with Blackbeard, or is he waiting for someone worth his time? Blackbeard could be test level. See, it's weird because like we don't know what Shanks's goal is. Because clearly Blackbeard is not that big a deal to whatever Shanks's goal is, or Shanks knows something that everybody else doesn't. Because if Blackbeard was a real threat, Shanks would have eliminated him when he had the opportunity, or he would have been sought him out. So it's like Shanks just does a lot of sitting around and partying, but we don't know what he does in all that in between time. It's sus, super sus. No, you don't gotta read. It's just something extra. Might check it out. They had to change Draken's voice actor because of the whole cheating scandal. That was so trash because the voice actor was way better. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, Draken from Tokyo Revengers. That was crazy because like I'm not super cultural like all that. Like I'm not super familiar with how like these kind of things happen in other countries, but I mean, as far as US celebrities go, there's a lot of infidelity and scandals, and pretty much everybody usually gets to keep their job. Unless you're doing something illegal, you pretty much get to keep your job. No one just ostracizes you. So seeing that this is how they get down in Japan, it was kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Yeah, it's from Tokyo Revengers, as Kino said. Tokyo Revengers, man. I was such a fan of that until the last arc. I'm not gonna spoil it for people, but man, I was all in on Tokyo Revengers until the last arc. I really was. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Racially motivated? The JJK female cast do a lot of fire things on scene. For example, fighting Sukuna or Yuta or murdering their entire clan. They don't have deep stories, but they're entertaining. That's true. I'll give you that. They do stuff. They definitely do stuff. Naruto females don't do anything. I'll give you that one. The most that Tsunade did was get ripped in half by Madara, which I mean, you know, if the most entertaining thing you did was get ripped in half, you're not, that entertaining of a character. So yeah, I will give you that one. You got that one. They actually do stuff, which is important actually. I think Tamari's biggest thing is just beating up Tamari and then beating up Konohamaru. That's about it. And she got Madara's vest dusty. Like, so it's like she doesn't really do anything. Uh, you've heard of Tokyo Revengers. Come on now, don't do that. Don't do that. Did he do the thumb pose? Asta did the Vegeta thumb pose. That's crazy. That pose is cursed. I was gonna do it, but I don't want to get beat up. But if you do that pose before a fight, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna take the L. 100%. 9 times out of 10 you're gonna take the L. No lie, true story. True story. So in my middle school, there's this guy that was about to get into a fight with this other dude's older brother. I was in 7th grade, and the dude was about to fight a ninth grader, and he was about to fight bro's older brother. And he did the pose. I'm not going to do it, but he did the pose, pointed to himself and everything. And before the fight even started, the dude's sister in 6th grade like came out of nowhere and hit him in the back of the head with like a lock, and then the ninth grader beat him up. That pose is cursed. That's all I needed to see from that point. That pose is cursed. If you point to yourself with your thumb in that manner, you're probably going to lose an unexpected L. It's an unexpected L. And like when I say she really cracked him with this lock, like it was like one of them cold locks for your locker, like on her knuckle, came through, just bow. Just I hit my hand. Ah, I hit my knuckle on the desk. But yeah, no, that pose is cursed. Tokyo Revengers going to Hulu ruined the hype. Not a bad thing since you already know what happens with a weird move. I mean, Hulu probably appeals to like a bigger audience than Crunchyroll. They're probably going for that. But it's like trying to get your anime big on Hulu is like the worst move. You would really want to stick to Crunchyroll or Netflix for real, for real. Okay, I was. You said back in '96. I'm not that old. Like, come on. I think my grandma was in school back in '96. Like, come on. Golly, that was when my grandma was around. Who's my top 5 favorite One Piece characters? Favorite? Mm, favorite One Piece characters? Probably. I don't want to say no Straw Hats because Straw Hats feel like such a cop out because there's always like a couple in everybody's list. So I'm gonna say my top 5 favorite One Piece characters with no Straw Hats in them, in no particular order, would probably be. I'm a big fan of Sabo, Ace. Yeah, Sabo and Ace are pretty dope. Law is pretty cool. I used to like Kid until he just kept being mid. Like I had hopes for Kid to be cool, but he just never got cool. And then he just got like it was like he never. It was like the hype was there, and then he never got cool. Like once he decided to fight Big Mom, that was it. And I used to like X Drake until I found out he was a member of Sword, and then he kind of got really lame to me. Um, cool. So I said Sabo Ace. No, he's not a donut. It's Ace. Sabo Ace Law. Um, what's my fan of in there? Oh, Koala. Koala's hype. Koala is actually hype. Y'all be sleep on Koala, but Koala is actually hype. Um, but yeah, Koala, Sabo, Ace, Law, and for number 5, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Smoker. I like Smoker. I like Tashigi. Katakuri's hype. Like Katakuri's fire. Dofi. Dofi's up there, but everybody likes Dofi. So for me, it'd probably be like Smoker or Katakuri. They're very different characters, but for different reasons. Like, I think Smoker has a lot of potential. I liked him more in part 1 than in part 2. Part 2 kind of has Smoker like a punk, which I kind of don't like. I hope we get to see him again soon. Like a Smoker, like He was that guy in part one, and then he just got extra lame in part two. I don't know what that was about. But Conor Curry's fire too, though. Oh, Kino, you hit the koala. Koala's backstory was fire. It was so good, and the fact that like they have like the fishman karate, but isn't a fishman. That's fire. That's so fire. You said I mean 1969, bro. I'm not that old. I was born in the 90s. I was born in the 90s. Is Percival seeming immortal going to affect the stakes? I don't think so. Just because it's only Percival. So it's like Percival's one of those people that cares way more about his friends than himself. So like if you're affecting Percival's friends, like that's stakes in itself. And we already seen Jade die. So it's like it kind of adds this air of like, ooh, wow, maybe like somebody else close to Percival could die. Like imagine if Donnie died. That'd be wild. So it's one of the ones that was like we don't know who else is kind of up for grabs in terms of death. So I think it should be okay. I will say though, if they kill Percival like every arc, that will get old extremely fast. Like if in the next encounter, in the next like arc encounter, Percival dies, that's gonna be whack. I'm not gonna care. I promise you, I will not care, and I will say it's trash. I'm one of the first people to tell you it will be trash. But right now, they leave it to where like Percival does not need to die again for like another couple arcs. He better not die again because it just gets lame. Said you're surprised I didn't have Whitebeard on there. Whitebeard's cool, but like he's not that cool for me. I did like playing him in Pirate Warriors just because he's so broken. I missed that game. Not particularly Pirate Warriors 4, but Pirate Warriors 3. I miss those games. Those games are so much fun. I don't know who's here from those days when I used to play Pirate Warriors on stream and talk to you guys. I should do that again. Like get some games to play, like ones that don't take mental energy. Cause me, I'll be playing games. I'll be focused. Like I'll be locked in. Like I'll be locked in, so I don't be able to pay attention to the chat and the game at the same time. But but yeah, a game like Pirate Wars, I don't even have to focus. I can just like press buttons. I can button mash and kill me 3,000 people and not even care. Nanson's gonna die after Jade. You know, it's weird because like I don't like the death flags thing when people say, "Oh, this character has death flags. This character has death flags," but Nanson's low key has death flags, like on the low, on the low. Not gonna lie, Qual's backstory, Fisher Tiger was sad, messed up, and really interesting. Yeah, it was cool. Toph from Avatar versus Kid both have metal bending. See, now the thing with Toph is I feel like people give her a lot of credit against anybody that uses like a Earth element type deal. In terms of like, it's one of the things where like, as much as I would like to sit up here and say like, oh yeah, Toph could like bend his metal and like make it do other stuff and yada this and yada that. The actual reality of the situation, like the actual reality of the situation, is that Kid could just make a railgun and just blast her and she would die. Like, and she could do nothing about it. She could actually do nothing about it. Like, she would just be dead. She would actually just be, unless they fight somewhere where there's no metal, then she might. No, because even then, it might be weird, but if you go off of just pure scaling, he should just be able to just punch through whatever rock she throws at him. I mean, if you want to like make a situation where she wins, you totally could, but Kid should take that one. Said Roni Kenshin is goated. Roni Kenshin is cool. The whole reverse blade sword is pretty neat. Uh, where am I at? My MCF with my friends and I will kill you. I mean, that is a whatchamacallit. That's like a standard. It's a standard one. Forehead to screen type focus. Now I just be like, see, when I be playing, it just be weird because I just can't talk. Like it's like my sentences get I don't know. They're even worse than what they normally are, which is pretty bad. You have to see. Like I don't think I've played anything like super serious on stream actually. Yeah, I don't think I have. I haven't played anything with mental concentration on stream. I should play like Sekiro or like Jedi Fallen Order. So I should play it on stream so you guys see. That was the whole reason. I don't know how many people even seen this when I made Jedi Fallen Order videos. Like that was the reason I didn't play that on stream because it was too hard. I was just dying. Like I would just die. Like I was just like I would just be dead, bro. It sucked. Cause I'm good at games, I am, but it just doesn't look like it if I played it on stream. I'll have to show you guys. Yoko Crumb, you said, where have I been? Bro, I've just been busy, bro. I've just been busy and lazy. The perfect storm, right? Glad to see you back. I'll wait till live stream. No, you're right on time. You're right on time. I'm not going anywhere anytime in the immediate future. Just hanging out. Joker be gone. Shoot cheeky. I don't know what we're talking about there. Nanson's gonna pull a Jade and not share his feelings to his love. That was actually one of the sadder parts about Jade's death is that he never really got to like really like talk that out with Isolde, which I think makes his death all the better. And not gonna lie, Cheon like blowing up the one dude and like kind of looking away. Like he was trying, like Cheon was trying so hard to be cool right there. Like bro thought he was in an edit, and not gonna lie, straight thought he was in an edit. It was my favorite out of the three main admirals. So out of the new ones, like out of Green Bull, Fujitora, and Kizaru. If it's out of those three, then it's Fujitora, easily, easily Fujitora, because he's actually like a chill dude in general. Like I'm not like a super weeb for like, oh he's like this blind reverse blade swordsman. Like because Fujitora is like he's so weeb-tastic when it comes to that. Like a blind reverse blade swordsman is about as weeb as you can go. It doesn't get much weebier than that. But I think he's just cool in general. Now, if we're talking about all the admirals that have ever been there, like going from like, I guess just adding in Akainu and Kuzan or Aokiji, Aokiji's my guy. Aokiji's cool. He's just not. That's not a pun either. I just realized that's a terrible pun, but Aokiji's dope. He's probably my favorite one out of all the admirals in general. But out of the three main ones right now, it would be Fujitora. Actually, I could probably rank them right now because there's only like what five of them, five or six. If I had to rank them out of the known ones, it would be Kuzan as number one, then Aokiji, then oddly enough Kizaru, then Akainu, and I actually don't like Green Bull. Green Bull's kind of lame to me. He didn't have a cool showing. Got punked by Momo. It looked like he would have had a high diff fight with Yamato. It just looked kind of lame. He seemed kind of lame to me. Which sucks. They had a cool fruit. I've been waiting to see like a more plant-based fruit for a long time. But Green Bull just seems kind of lame. I also think it's weird that like it's weird that his name is Green Bull. Like, because like I get it, all of the admirals are supposed to have like a color and an animal. Like Aka Inu, red dog, I get it. Like Kizaru, yellow monkey, I get it. Aokiji, blue bird, blue pheasant, whatever. But it's like their names are in the Japanese. But then he made Green Bull, and it's just in English, it's just Green Bull. It's weird to me, and it wouldn't be that bad to me honestly if Fujitora wasn't it wasn't like the Japanese name. Like it's purple or Winstria Tiger. It's that one's in Japanese, but Green Bull's in English. It's so weird. Like, why didn't you make another one like that? It's not consistent. It just it bothers me so much. Like I've just thought about it so much, but I don't talk about it because it's really nitpicky. But it's so weird. Like, why is he Green Bull, but all the other ones are the Japanese name? Like, it's strange. That it's all about Galaxy Impact right now. We're getting named attacks from Garp. It's kind of wild though, like that, because I was one of those people that just thought Garp was kind of weak now because he's old. Like I just assumed that. Um, so I kind of hope that I don't want Garp to die here. Like, because I know some people were saying on Twitter, in the Twitter space, that Garp is gonna put up a good showing to help Kobe escape, and it's gonna mirror Whitebeard and Ace, or Whitebeard and Luffy in them is gonna be kind of strange. And he's gonna die, and I wouldn't like that because I want Luffy to kind of be around for that. Obviously, that would suck a lot, but I kind of want him to be somewhat involved in that. But I also don't want Garp to just clap everybody either, because then the Garp stocks just go through the roof. They go through the roof if Garp just claps. Like, so I don't know. It's in a weird spot. I also don't know why sticking the ball and chain to Kobe is anything significant. Like, it's like because Kobe doesn't have a devil fruit, right? So like you can't use Sea Prism Stone on him. So it's like, and he's a master or not a master, but he is aware of how to use what is it, Rokushiki. So like he should just be able to break the ball and chain and escape. It's just weird. Like I don't know what jail cell they put Kobe into where he couldn't break out of it. And I don't know how just a ball and chain is sufficient enough to keep him down. It's that part's weird. Sengoku actively murdered captured scholars. He scolded Saul for disagreeing and made recommendations for the Ohara genocide. Executed Ace just for who his dad was. He showed no remorse. Yeah, Sengoku's kind of that. He's kind of a jerk. But everything Sengoku does is for justice. So I mean, all he can do is operate under, the world government and all you can do is operate for the world government and the celestial dragons. So it's not like I'm pretty sure Sengoku's morals are in different places, as you can see, like his relationship with Law and Rocinante when he was alive. Like his actual morals do kind of align differently. He's just not so much like Garp to where he'll follow what he feels. In my opinion, I feel like him and Garp are very similar, but that's where their paths branch. Was Garp probably will break some rules, some not all, for what he believes is right. Whereas I don't think Sengoku would ever. Like he'll sacrifice what his morals were to fall in line. Say you're bad at video games, but you play too many. Final Fantasy Remake as well. Ghost of Tsushima were hard to beat. Just picked up Persona 5. Bro, did you get regular Persona 5 or Persona 5 the Royal? Because Persona's lit. I'm actually actively playing Persona 3 like right now. I'm still in the beginning though. It's a very different experience because I started with 5 and then played Royal and then played 4 and 4 Golden and I'm at 3. So I kind of went backwards. So it's just weird. Oh, maybe the chains on Kobe explode and they're removed. That'd be perfect. I'm just gonna assume that that's the case because it's not worth explaining. I don't need a whole panel for that. That's a waste of panel. But that's what I'm gonna go with to make it not seem lame to me. Do I like Akainu? He's fourth out of the 5 admirals, like just the 2 new ones and 3 originals. He's fourth for me. It's not that I dislike him. It's that I like Aokiji because I like how kind of in the middle he is about everything. Like he's the most conflicted out of the admirals. Not well to me, he's the most conflicted out of the admirals. Second, Fujitora. I like that confliction between like they're on the side of what is considered good, but can recognize the bad in the good system. So that's why those two are my favorite. Kizaru's just funny. Like he's just funny to me. So he's number 3, and then Akainu's fourth with Greenbow being last. It's not that I dislike Akainu. It's just he just doesn't have what the other 3 have, which is confliction and a moral dilemma, and he's not funny. So I think he's cool. Don't get me wrong, but he's under those guys. You're still on Royal. Royal's a good experience. Royal's great. That one's great, bro. The whole third semester and freaking Kasumi, fire, bro. Not gonna spoil anything for you. It is so good. It is a good experience. I think I platinumed the Royal because I loved that game. Loved it. I spent like 100 something hours on it easy. It's an amazing game. I will say though, the only thing that sucks is if you play the Royal, you won't enjoy 5 that much. Like if you just play Persona 5 the Royal and then you try to play Persona 5, you're gonna realize how like meh Persona 5 is in comparison, just because like they added so much stuff to Persona 5 the Royal, which it was weird because I didn't really realize how much stuff was missing from a Persona type game until I played the Royal. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but but Persona 5 was actually missing a lot of core Persona mechanics that Persona 5 the Royal added. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, Royal has way more content. The original Persona 5 only has like 2 semesters, whereas Persona 5 adds a whole third semester and an extra dungeon and like 3 or 4 extra confidants. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, I really like Kimetsu no Yaiba, but every time someone puts a character in Kimetsu no Yaiba character fight, I cringe. Bro, because like I don't know what it is. Because I get it, people can like a series and love a series, but you have to understand the limitations of your series, right? So it's like what's a show that I like that's not really super duper strong. So like you could take Seven Deadly Sins, right? I'm a huge fan of like Percival. I think Percival's cool. But I'm not gonna put Percival up against Goten from Dragon Ball Z. That's just stupid. Like, there's literally nothing he could do. But some people would be like, "Oh, this is my favorite character," so they kick everybody's butt, and it's like, Well, no, that's just not how that works. That's so not how that works. Many little children were murdered on suspicion of being Roger's kids, and Goku can't be executed after that. He's the head of the Marines. I mean, but when you consider what Roger was doing, I mean, because Garp was, well, he wasn't, I guess, in on, because he's only, what, a rear or a vice admiral? He's not nearly close enough to the top to have any say. But it's like we don't know all of what Garp's or all of what Roger's exploits were. We don't know if Roger mixed in some bad stuff in there here or there. We know that the world government probably wanted anything to do with Roger dead, though. We know that for sure. Like the Marines, one thing, but we know the world government probably wanted him out of there. So you think Law is gonna age into a Shanks type persona? That's interesting because I see a lot of people say that Law is gonna be like a Whitebeard type person, but I could see Law being like more chill. But it's weird because it feels like Law is more interested about the whole history of the world and stuff, and not really so much interested in say the One Piece per se. His goals seem to be more aligned with Robin than with Luffy, if that makes sense. So like especially after the stuff with Dofi and all that, he really feels like he's kind of gone more off of the Pirate King path and just wants to figure out more of the secrets of the world. Which I guess him and Shanks could be similar in that uh, instance. Murdering multiple innocent kids can't be excused. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I can definitely not say you are wrong there because I do agree. I feel like if I say anything to disagree, it's gonna make me look like some type of monster. So I definitely do agree. I agree with you. Oh man, that's so funny. I mean, I'm trying to think, is there a series that I haven't really touched on right now that I've been keeping up with? Let me see. Master's hype. Or I wouldn't say hype. Master's cool. I've been enjoying Master for what it is. Eden Zero is cool right now. We talked about My Hero. We talked about Black Clover. We talked about One Piece. I'm not caught up on JJK. I do need to read that. There are a couple new series that have been floating around that seem really hype. I don't know if you guys have read them or not. Let me see if I can pull them up. Let me see if I can pull them up. So there's. I'm not even going to try to say the names. I'm gonna just put them on on the screen. I'm gonna just put them on the screen so y'all can know what I'm talking about. I'm not about to have y'all up here laughing at me because I don't know the names of these series. But this one, Goku Rakiga, I think that's how you say that. This one looks pretty interesting. I've seen a couple people talking about it online, but not like a ton. But I was very curious to see like if this one was good, cause like all I have to go off of is this, and it looks kind of hype. So I don't know if any of you have read it. Um, but if you guys have read this and this is good, let me know. There was another one too that was interesting. Where is it? Let me go to see all. That is definitely not all the manga. Like, what? This is the Shonen Jump lineup forever, bro. These 8 series are carrying Jump clearly. Tokyo Ghoul. Why is Tokyo Ghoul even on here, yo? You said so far it's cool, but the art is really dope. I was saying the art looks cool. It really does. Why is this not going back? I've clicked back like 50 times. Where is this other one that was dope? I thought I saw. Maybe I'm tripping. Didn't this end? Is this one still going on? Yeah, it is. This one seemed kind of interesting. Was it Jiangxi X? Has like this like Chinese type vibe to it. This guy kind of has like, I don't know, like almost a Naruto esque type feel with how he's drawn. Tokyo Ghoul the masterpiece? Definitely not. Definitely not the masterpiece. Definitely not a masterpiece. It's a series. I'll give you that. Um, Cypher Academy. That looks like it could be good. School for Code Breakers. So this might be a little. That might be a real heavy read. Like you might have to really, really, really read that one. New series in the vault. Dang, these are none of the ones that I saw though. I thought. Can I go to like? It's probably not gonna work. I stopped picking up series after Phantom Seer. As for Phantom Seer, I feel like it got axed out of nowhere. Like it felt like it just caught an axe like for no reason. Bro, this is why I like the app so much more than the website. The website's UI is trash, in my opinion. Cause it's like, all right, imagine you just want to read a manga and you go to the website and you click read and it's like, oh, you can read some popular series or you can read The Legend of Zelda. It's like what? Like why? And this doesn't even have all the new ones. This is just in alphabetical order. Like why can't you just show me like what's new and current? Like why is that so hard to do? I don't know. I don't know. There was a series that I thought that was jumping to a new series. Maybe this is it. Yeah, the app is way better. Yeah, bro. Like this website UI is trash. Like it is so bad. It is so terrible. Are these all the new series for real? Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. Oh well. I also don't like reading manga on the website. That's true. Me neither. I think the only time I read it on the website is well, no, even on my iPad, I just use the app. So I don't know. There's probably next to no reason to actually use the website. Yeah, there's probably no reason to use the website unless you just like, cause if you're streaming, you kind of have to. Cause like on your computer, you can't really use the app. So if I was streaming, I kind of have to use the website. Ichino says family is amazing. That family one is amazing. You say? Is it? Cause I hear RT gassing it up, but you know how I am with RT. I don't be he be saying stuff. I don't be trying to listen to him sometimes because he be over gassing stuff up. Like it be all gas. Did I read the Tokyo Ghoul manga? No, I only seen some of the anime. I never read it. Is the manga and the anime that different? The programmers of the website just felt kind of lazy. Is it? Cause like the art. Cause I mean that's the first thing that grabs you is like is the art. The art looked kind of interesting, but it might actually be kind of lazy then. What's my favorite One Piece arc? Probably Arlong Park. Arlong Park is really, really good. It's really good and it holds up really, really well. Arlong Park, Enies Lobby. The Water 7 Enies Lobby is so good, bro. It's so good. I know this is probably a weird one, but like the Sky, I know a lot of people hated Skypiea, but the backstory with the freaking Shandians or Chandalorians, I think it's Shandians, was so good with like Noland. There was so in freaking Kalgara, it was really good. It was fire. It's absolutely fire, bro. It was so good. As far as like for the post time skip, as much as I hate Dressrosa might be my favorite one. Just because that's where we get like Law's backstory, we get Doflamingo's backstory, we get Gear 4. Like it was a lot of hype stuff that happened in that one. But I will say Weekly Dressrosa was like it was hard. It was hard to be a weekly One Piece reader with Weekly Dressrosa, bro. When you get like 4 chapters back to back of the Tontadas, it makes you question if One Piece was really worth it, for real, for real. I know some people like Leo and the Tontadas. I was not one of those people. I thought it was whack. I did not care for the Tontadas. I did not care for half of those fighters in the little underground Coliseum arena. I get it. They set up the whole Armada stuff, the whole fleet. I get it. It set all that up. Really important. Luffy needs a fleet or whatever to be considered a warlord. All that. Or not a warlord, but the emperor. I get it. But man, the weekly grind on that was tough. It was super tough. Sheesh. But But yeah. So yeah, probably Dressrosa for post time skip, probably my favorite. I know you would think it would be Wano, especially with recency bias, but not really. Wano had a lot of stuff that I wanted to see that really didn't happen. I was really disappointed with the lack of Zoro content in Wano. It kind of bothered me. The whole like not even getting any closer to the Black Blade stuff bothered me. Um, Roof Piece was lit, but it was more of a hype thing. Kids Awakening kind of underwhelming. Law's Awakening fire, absolutely fire, but Kids was underwhelming. Kid in fights overall underwhelming. Like Kid versus Kaido, pretty underwhelming. Kid choosing to fight Big Mom, mid. Like it just that part was terrible. That was horrible. Kid should have fought Kaido. He should have found some way to stay up there, or at least stop fighting Kaido for a different reason. Like just like Luffy's like, oh yeah, go fight Big Mom. He was like, bet. Like or oh wait, let's fight Big Mom. Like he just was so down for fighting Big Mom for no reason. So um, the Sanji stuff was cool. I didn't really like him destroying the suit, but it was cool. The Zoro stuff was cool. Um, like Usopp didn't get a fight. I was kind of mad about that. It's like there's just little the stuff with Kinemon was trash. I didn't really care for that. Oh, what was the dude's name? Conjuro coming back to life like 9,000 times. I didn't like that. There's a lot of stuff in Wano that I had issues with. So Wano's not gonna be my favorite post time skip One Piece arc, even though I'm sure it is for a lot of people, especially with the way the anime looks. The anime looks crazy for Wano. So you said I have a weird feeling that Kaido's backstory and motivations were cut because they contain spoilers like for Rocks, Joy Boy, etc. I think so too. Cause like usually we get a lot of backstory on One Piece villains, except for when they have like major plot spoilers. And it's like, cause I get it, we couldn't have got Arlong's backstory way back in Arlong Park. Cause it would have been there's so much stuff with like the Grand Line and Fisher Tiger and Celestial Dragons that we just wouldn't have been able to handle back then. And same thing for Crocodile. There's probably so much New World, Grand Line, all kind of stuff that we just weren't ready for back then. So it's like I get it, but it's like, man, I really wish we could have. So LOL, you said RT called it a smart cash grab. That sounds like an RTL statement too. That's the funniest part. It sounds like something he would say. But I'm about to wrap this up here. I'll probably post like a more concise video of what's going on for the people that didn't join the live stream. Because I understand that it's like a bunch of subscribers, so not everybody's going to be able to join the live stream and see what's going on. So I'll probably make like a video that's more concise in terms of like what was going on, what we're going to do moving forward. 'Cause like I said, I want my content to be a little bit different. As for what that means, like I said, you heard it here first. I don't know. So there's that. So appreciate you guys for stopping by. Appreciate the donations. I don't know if that person's still here or not, but again, I do appreciate it. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Look out for that video on the weekend, more than likely. No promises, but look out for it then. What is this comment? Luffy learned to train after facing an overwhelming opponent. Kid didn't. He never did after losing an arm to Shanks or losing to Kaido. I mean, I don't even know if Kid even trains. Like we don't even have any confirmation. Like we were with Law for a long time, and Law just was stronger out of nowhere. Like Law just had awakening, like just cause. So like we don't even like we don't really know who trains outside of Luffy and Zoro. So like there's that. But so yeah, I will catch you guys later. You guys have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Easter. Yeah, but yeah, I'll catch you guys later.